And there are those people who are catfish in life, and they keep you on your toes.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebs who have been catfished.
I would say to myself, what are you even doing? You are a smarter person than this. Why are you letting these people control you?
For this list, we'll be looking at the most notable people in the spotlight who were duped by fictional online personas and/or relationships, romantic or otherwise. Do you think you would have fallen for one of these catfish schemes? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, Neve Schulman. We'll start with the obvious. Neve Schulman is the co-creator and co-host of Catfish, the TV show, which premiered in 2012 and was inspired by his own experience.
Is the person they've fallen for telling the truth?
Maybe she's like some super sexy farmer's daughter.
Or hiding behind lies?
He was a photographer and was sent some paintings of his photographs supposedly made by an 8-year-old girl, Abby. Through his correspondence, he eventually met her singer-songwriter half-sister Megan, with whom he embarked on an intense, passionate, months-long online relationship.
So you're full on going out?
Yeah.
This is a long-distance relationship?
No, we're not. But
Or anyone.
if we met each other and the attraction exists in real life, like it would be like instantaneous.
However, after a screw-up on Megan's part, Schulman ended up finding out it was all lies, and everyone he was talking to, including Megan, was fake. A woman named Angela was running several different Facebook profiles, weaving a tall tale.
The personalities that came out were just fragments of myself. Fragments of things I used to be, wanted to be, never could be.
Number 9, Chris Anderson. This one came dangerously close to ruining an NBA player's life. To put it as simply as possible, Anderson met a then-teenage Paris Dunn online in 2011. They communicated online for some time, developing a relationship and exchanging increasingly explicit photos. When the two finally spent a weekend together in person, they found that things were a little bizarre. Each of them would mention things that didn't seem to make sense to the other. Basically, a woman in Manitoba, Canada had been catfishing both parties. That's right, she was communicating with Anderson and Dunn as each other, lying about things like the latter's age. Eventually, accusations against Anderson concerning underage photographs were cleared, and he was able to resume his professional career.
The fake Facebook account, according to RCMP, was all a part of an elaborate extortion scheme.
It's absolutely, surreal.
Number 8, Patrick McAfee.
Everybody thinks that Manti Te'o is the only professional athlete in the history of professional athletes to get catfished. Oh no, it happens on a very regular basis to professional athletes.
Sports analyst and former Colts football player Patrick McAfee told this story from the early days of his career on Twitter. He claimed that a woman started to send him tweets, flirting and such. McAfee ignored her for a while, skeptical because he wasn't a household name at that point. After checking out her profile, however, he noticed she was conversing with other athletes and figured it was probably legitimate. He chatted on and off with her for a few months, but he called things off after apparently having a dream that told him the woman was actually a man.
I was like, I'm not going to be a part of this again. I'm not going to do this ever again. I feel terrible.
A short while later, he saw her pictures and name on Catfish, the TV show.
I have video chat capability, and she does not. Short of photos and phone conversations, I have not actually seen her or talked to her in person, and it is my dream to do so.
Number 7, Iggy Azalea. Sometimes moms can be so embarrassing.
Cat and mouse game always starts the same. First we're both down a plate and somehow you go astray.
Iggy Azalea once found a fan on one of her accounts named Azalean for Life. She found the person intriguing and added them, but then the star received a text message from her mother revealing to her that she was in fact Azalean for Life.
Baby, I do this, I thought that you knew this. Can't stand no haters and honest, the truth is.
We're not even sure if this catfish was fully done on purpose, but it's a little funny, bizarre, and somehow pretty endearing. As for Azalea, she was embarrassed that she fell for it. She once mentioned that social media really makes her angry, and that it's a toxic environment. Sadly, we're certain she's had way worse experiences than this.
Iggy, too biggie to be his present. I'm thinking I love the thought of you more than I love your presence. And the best thing now is probably for you to exit.
Number 6. Thomas Gibson. In 2011, actor Thomas Gibson, best known for his role as Agent Hotchner on Criminal Minds prior to his 2016 firing, met a woman on social media.
I thought I could trust you, Aaron.
Who says you can't?
I want to. I even looked you up online. Is that strange?
No, it's flattering to be noticed by a woman like you.
Gibson, who was then separated from his now ex-wife, started an online relationship. There were racy photographs and videos shared as a result. The tryst lasted about 2 years, until he discovered that the media he had been receiving were actually lifted from adult websites.
Paying attention to these items projects a kind of importance on them. When he comes in, I'd like to give him the opportunity to show us which parts of the crimes he thinks are important.
His lawyers attempted to contact the culprit to end things, but they failed to prevent her from sharing her story with TMZ, alongside a video of Gibson. Needless to say, the news made headlines. Number 5. Tracy Toms. In 2014, Catfished the TV show saw its first famous victim in Tracy Toms, a Broadway and film star. Toms had come into contact with Sammy, an adoring fan, online. The two chatted frequently on Twitter, and Toms was grateful to find a supporter who provided some extra publicity.
She was smart, she was funny, she was a really, really clever girl. Her videos were funny, and she hooked me. I was gonna hire this girl.
Around the same time, the celeb was contacted by another fan, Reese. The latter was eventually said to have died, and Toms was sent video footage of the funeral. That's when she started having doubts, ultimately bringing Catfish into the mix.
Just something there, and I was like, something's not right. I don't know what it is. And then, dead Reese just favorited her own RIP tweet.
After some sleuthing, the show found Sammy and discovered she had come up with the Reese profile. She was basically just a lonely, bored individual. The footage was from Sammy's cousin's funeral.
I do know the effect that I had on you guys, and I really am I'm sorry. I really am. I'm glad I actually got to apologize to you face to face.
Number 4. Meri Brown. Meri Brown is well known by fans of TLC's Sister Wives. In 2014, she ended her marriage to her husband Cody for legal reasons, yet remained with him.
Meri and Cody divorced last fall so that Cody could marry his fourth wife, Robin, and legally adopt her children from a previous marriage.
The two, however, were having issues, and Brown found comfort in an internet admirer the following year. She engaged in an online relationship with a man named Sam Cooper. The two exchanged photos, voicemail, and countless private messages of the risque variety. More than that, they bonded emotionally, or so Brown initially thought.
During an emotional and vulnerable time, I began speaking with someone online who turned out to be not who they said they were. I never met this person, and I regret being drawn into this situation.
This relationship carried on for about 6 months, after which the star found out she was actually communicating with a woman named Jackie Overton. Overton then reportedly made materials she had been sent public.
Why does she do this? You know, I mean, is she just evil? Is she lonely? I don't know.
Number 3. Brad Paisley and Kimberly Williams-Paisley. In 2012, actress Kimberly Williams-Paisley and her husband, country music star Brad Paisley, corresponded with a woman and her daughter, who was allegedly dying of neuroblastoma.
She said that her daughter had begged her to get in touch with me, so it sounded very sort of real. I read that and I thought, well, I would love to just talk to her and say hi.
The couple grew fond of the story and exchanged photos and emotional calls with the two. Brad Paisley actually sang a song for the young child. The couple were crushed when they found out that the girl had succumbed to her cancer.
And my wife started bawling.
She hit my softest spot. Like, as a mother, you know, wanting my kids to be okay.
However, it turns out she never existed. The entire thing was an elaborate ruse created by a mother of 2 kids, neither of whom were sick. One psychiatrist called it a potential case of Munchausen by internet.
Basically, it refers to anybody who goes online, either feigns or exaggerates some kind of medical or psychological illness because they're after sympathy.
The woman also duped TLC star Kate Gosselin and Wipeout's John Henson, among others. She was charged with a felony. Number 2, Danielle Fishel. Danielle Fishel of Boy Meets World fame revealed that she was once catfished. In 1993, when she was beginning to receive celebrity attention, she received a letter, on paper the old school way, from a fan claiming to be a young girl.
Can I move in with you? It's only fair.
There were pictures giving Fishel little to suspect, especially since this was before everything was online. The person eventually also sent along photos of her brother, whom she claimed was her guardian, and a number so that the two could chat on the phone.
Well, that's not so creepy.
The calls weren't answered, and the voicemail suspiciously belonged to a man. Fishel then got word that the girl had died, realizing she'd been tricked. Scarier still, the catfisher started stalking her, though she didn't go into detail on that front.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Manti Te'o. In 2009, a Facebook profile belonging to a fake person, Lene Kukua, began to communicate with Notre Dame college football player Manti Te'o. The two eventually began a months-long online romance, sharing lengthy, emotional conversations.
For him, the fact that he had this girl who could really relate and kind of empathize and sympathize with what he was going through and the pressures that he was facing, that's what drew him to Lene.
In 2012, Te'o received word from Lene's brother that she had cancer. The athlete spoke to her on the phone regularly afterward, sometimes for hours on end. She then died on the same day as his grandmother, crushing his spirit. But it was all a sham. The fact that he was catfished was exposed, and Te'o was publicly ridiculed as a result.
Every day was just trying to figure out how to get rid of this anxiety, how to get rid of this numbness, this tingling.
The woman behind Kukua, Naya Tuisasopa, later came out as transgender and has explained that the ordeal started to help her cope with her identity issues.
I still feel horrible, and sometimes I wish that everything had been undone. But then also another part of me was like, I learned so much about who I am today and who I want to become.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.